Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator triangle, budget, save, and pay off debt to help you build a spending plan that fits your life, grow your savings with purpose, and knock out debt with confidence. I know we've been away for a few days, and I'm aware that a lot has been happening in the world. This show will never be about politics. No matter your background or beliefs, you are welcome here. My true hope is that everyone listening can find the tools and the encouragement to achieve their financial dreams. What happened last week was a tragedy. My heart goes out to all those who are affected. There's a family now without a father, parents grieving the choices of a son, and countless others whose lives will never be the same. My prayer is that all who are touched by this event may feel love and comfort in Christ and in God, the source of all that is good. Now, let's get to today's show. Today, we're talking about a superpower that too many people either fear or perhaps overtrust: automation. Think of automation like the plane's autopilot. It can keep you on course through either routine stretches, smooth out turbulence, and free up your focus for the decisions only a human should make. But it's not the pilot. You are. When automation is set up with intention, your dollars leave the runway with a flight plan. When it's not, they wander into wrong airspace and rack up fees, stress, and "how did that just draft?" moments. This episode is your automation advantage. We'll walk through what to automate and what not to for maximum impact, how to avoid classic autopilot pitfalls like overdrafts, overdrafting subscription, and fire and forget drift. Also, we'll cover exactly how automation supports the triangle to build peace of mind, steady bill pay rhythms on the budget side, and create consistent deposits to your peace of mind funds on the save side. We'll also talk about reliable extra payments on the payoff debt side. When the machine handles your routine, you can handle the leadership. A quick pop culture pit stop. In WALL-E, the ship's autopilot, Otto, tries to run the show forever until the captain hits manual override and leads. That's our philosophy here. Set it up, keep the override, you stay in the driver's seat with simple check-ins and a clear spending plan. By the end, you'll have a practical Triggator-aligned plan to put your money on autopilot without losing control, momentum, or your sanity. Grab your notes or your favorite planning app. Let's assign the routine to systems, reserve judgment for you, and make your money move with rhythm. Let's get into it. What to automate and what not to for maximum impact. Let's set the ground rule up front. Automation should handle the routine. You handle the judgment. In Triggator terms, we use systems to run the predictable parts of your spending plan, so your brain power is saved for values-based choices, trade-offs, and leadership moments. The Triggator automation principle: paycheck, purpose, automatically. In the Triggator framework, money moves with your paycheck rhythm, not the calendar. Automation becomes the engine that moves each deposit through the triangle. Budget, assign. Save, fund peace of mind. Pay off debt, attack the target. This is all done before the dollars have any chance to wander. What to automate? Triggator approved. First, direct deposit splits and bill pay account, which has partial automation. Set your employer direct deposit to split automatically into things like your bill pay account for those fixed or recurring bills, savings into your peace of mind funds like your emergency, alligator, and fun fund, as well as direct deposit into your spending, which is your everyday card or checking for groceries, fuel, and those other paycheck expenses. Here's the Triggator method. For bill pay account, this is partial automation. During your paycheck check-in, you review what bills are due that period and transfer that exact amount needed into the bill pay account. This gives you control and clarity over what's being paid. For bills that rarely change, like your mortgage, for example, direct deposit automation works great. For others, keep the transfer manual so you know exactly what is covered each cycle. Second, the bill pay account to auto pay for fixed and predictable bills. Automate your mortgage or rent, insurance, internet, phone, and debt minimums from your bill pay account. Make sure that you do add a small buffer, something like $100 for safety. This keeps on-time payments, cleaner cash flow, and fewer surprises in your daily spending account. Here's a quick data check. On-time automation meaningfully reduces late fees and time spent paying bills, common advantages cited across consumer banking guidance. Third, peace of mind funds. These are your savings going into recurring transfers. Automate emergency, alligator, and fund contributions the day your paycheck lands. Even better and bonus points if you do it as a direct deposit. Remember, this is your emergency fund. Start with the first rung of the ladder that we've talked about and climb. Automation, it turns intention into progress. Your alligator fund, this is your non-monthly predictable costs, things like holidays, insurance premiums, school, sports, annual renewals, and so on, that you create into per paycheck bites. And then your fund, some small, consistent deposits prevent joy droughts and binge spending. Fourth, debt, minimums, and automatic extra payments. Keep minimums on auto pay from the bill pay to protect yourself and avoid accidental misses. Then schedule a separate automatic extra payment to your current snowball or avalanche target the day after payday. Again, bonus points if you can automate this further into your payment. This double rail tactic, it prevents late fees and helps you maintain momentum. Fifth, alerts equal automation's co-pilot. Turn on low balance, large transaction, and upcoming bill alerts. They're your manual override signals so that you lead the system, not the other way around. Now let's talk about some things maybe not to automate and to keep maybe a little bit more manual or move into more of a semi-manual process. Variable paycheck expenses, groceries, dining, and other miscellaneous things. Don't auto-purchase day-to-day categories. Instead, fund your spending account by paycheck and decide purchases in the moment. Automation should move money, not make decisions you'll want to revisit. Annual and irregular subscriptions. Automatic drafts for these are okay, but they should not be set it and forget it. Build these payments into your alligator fund, and before the automatic payment hits, run the "would I buy it again today" test. If yes, let it draft. If not, cancel or pause. Bills with known variability or error-prone vendors. There's kind of two options that I like to do with this. Option one is to still set up that automatic draft from your bill pay account. But during your paycheck check-in, that's when you move your money to your bill pay account, verify that the bill is correct. That way, if something is off, you can hold the auto draft and fix it before it runs. Option two, for bills with a history of errors, things like maybe your gas bill. I know I had for a long time an issue with my gas company where they were billing things incorrectly. So what I did is instead of having them draft, I perform the draft. I use my bank's bill pay feature to send the money to them manually. I still fund this from my bill pay account, but by putting this payment through my bank's auto pay, I control the timing and the amount. Now, putting both of these methods together, it can allow you control and automation. Let's talk about real quick if you have irregular income. You don't want to over automate amounts that you can't cover. If your income fluctuates, automate at your baseline floor, the lowest steady amount. Then add manual sweeps when pay is higher. That keeps you safe from overdrafts while still capturing the consistency boost automation provides. Some guardrails that keep you in the driver's seat. Even the best autopilot, it still needs a pilot. Add these Triggator guardrails. Do a pre-draft review window, 24 to 48 hours before big bills. Use a quick checklist to confirm amounts, usage spikes, for example, in the case of utilities, and available funds in the bill pay account. Do your weekly 15-minute check-in. Confirm that the automations are in place. Scan the alerts. Reassign any leftovers with intention. Your bill pay buffer. We talked about this. Keep a small permanent cushion in that bill pay account. Equal pay for utilities. For utilities with seasonal spikes, ask your provider about equal pay plans. They'll average your usage over a year and help set predictable monthly payments, making automation easier and budgeting smoother. Let's throw in just a quick stat. Late fees are costly and they are common. The CFPB reported that more than 14 billion with a B in card late fees occurred in 2022. Let's quickly talk about Back to the Future. Remember Doc Brown's DeLorean, how it runs on time circuits? He sets the destination, the car handles the routine and jumps. But Doc always checks those time circuits and makes sure that they're on before hitting 88 miles per hour. That's automation done right. The systems handle the routines, but you keep your hand on the controls. Avoiding automation pitfalls and staying in the driver's seat. Let's talk about the most common ways automation can go sideways and how to keep your hands on the wheel, Triggator style. The goal isn't to scare you off autopilot, but to make sure you're flying with a checklist, not just hoping for a smooth ride. Cash flow timing. Match your automation with your paycheck rhythm. Ever had a bill draft 2 days before payday and suddenly you're scrambling? That's a classic automation hiccup. The fix, during your paycheck check-in, review what's due and move enough into your bill pay account to cover those bills. For the predictable stuff like your mortgage, again, those direct deposit automations are your friend. For everything else, keep it manual so you know exactly what's covered. That way, you're never caught off guard. You always know what is coming and going. And if you've got utilities that swing with the seasons, check out that equal pay. I love it. They'll take the average usage and create predictable monthly payments. It's automation that actually makes your life easier. The overdraft dominoes. Nobody likes the domino effect. One draft maybe goes through, you're short, and suddenly you're racking up fees. The Triggator move, we talked about that small buffer, thinking maybe $100 in your bill pay account. Also, make sure you're setting up alerts for low balances and big transactions. If something looks off, you'll know before it snowballs. The other great thing about this bill pay account idea is that you're not touching it with any other spending. You don't have to worry that that pizza run you made last night might cause that draft to bounce. And one more quick reminder, automate at your baseline if your income isn't steady. Then manually sweep in the extra when you get a bigger check. Subscription drifts and vendor errors, staying in control. Let's be real, subscription and vendor drafts can be sneaky. The trick is to build those annual or irregular subscriptions into your alligator fund so you're ready when they hit. But don't just let them run wild. Before any automatic payment, remember your test. Would I buy this again today? And if not, pause or cancel. Payment methods. ACH first, debit card only when needed. Here's a simple rule. If you can pay by ACH, which is just a direct transfer from your bank, do it. It eliminates the headache of card expiration and reissues altogether. Now, if you in your head just said it eliminates the headache of card expirations and reissues, bonus points and applause for airplane references. We love it. Now, if you do need to use a debit card, keep it tied to your single bill pay account. That way, when the card expires, you know exactly what needs updating. Using multiple cards across different accounts, that's a recipe for chaos. Simplify and let your bill pay account be your one-stop shop. Credit card autopay, the Triggator approach. Let's get clear. Triggator isn't about using credit cards for new spending. Once you've paid off a card, retire it. If you're still working on paying one down, set up autopay for that minimum from your bill pay account and schedule that extra payment right after payday. When that balance hits zero, celebrate and don't go back. Security, refunds, and account changes. Trust but verify. Automation is safest when you're still watching. Turn on those transaction notifications and e-bills. If you ever get a refund or dispute a charge, make sure the money lands where it should. Ideally, this should go back into the fund where it came from, or use it as a snowflake to pay off debt. The Triggator Automation Audit, your quarterly tune-up. Every few months, take 20 minutes to run through your automation checklist. Check your bill pay account buffer. Make sure your peace of mind funds are still getting fed. Scan for upcoming subscription renewals and run the buy it again today test. Review any vendors with a history of errors and consider switching them to another method to make sure that you're on top of it. Lastly, confirm your alerts are still active and relevant. Remember in Apollo 13 when Mission Control had to figure out the exact order to power up the systems so they didn't drain too much energy? If they did it wrong, they'd never make it home. But once they nailed the sequence, they flew safely back to Earth. That's what proper automation does. Create a sequence that, when powered up the right way, brings you to your financial home. How automation supercharges the triangle and peace of mind without losing control. Let's land the plane with something practical that you can run. A simple, flexible automation plan that amplifies each side of the Triggator triangle, budget, save, and pay off debt, and leaves you firmly in charge. We'll keep it fresh, no reruns from earlier. Give you ready-to-use power-up sequences and add a scoreboard so that you can see your system working. First, your automation power-up sequence. Pick the one that best fits your season. Let's be real. All of us are in different seasons and different stages of our financial journey. I'm going to walk you through quickly 3 ways that you can think of these as like presets on a soundboard. Based on your season, it's a different mix, but it's all the same triangle. Let's talk about when you're in stability mode. This is when life feels loud. Your budget side, during your paycheck check-in, move only what's due this period in your bill pay account. This is that partial automation that creates clarity. Put fixed bills that rarely change on that direct deposit so you can keep the rest through your own validation so that you make sure they're taken care of. Your save side, focus on that emergency fund. Make sure you're still creating that buffer, even if it's small amounts. Keep it steady and those deposits running. Pay off debt. Make sure you're meeting those minimums. Automate those minimums. Make sure that you're on track and keeping ahead of the game. Once you're able to move past that stability mode, move into a momentum mode. This is where we're getting into things like attacking debt and building your savings better. From the budget side, we're still doing the check-ins. We're still doing those things in the bill pay account, but maybe we have a little more discretionary spending that we can align with our values. Save. Keep the emergency fund humming, but make sure your alligators are getting fed each paycheck to prevent those surprise bites. Pay off debt. Keep the minimums going on autopay, but now attack with your plan. Put those extra dollars into that first attacked debt so that you can get it gone and move on. When that debt is finished, redirect the extra automatically to the next one so that there's no decision fatigue. Now, if you've been doing really great and you're past momentum mode, let's move into builder mode. This is when savings is your headline. All right. The budget is pretty consistent. We're still moving things to our bill pay account. We're making sure things are happening, making sure that all of our spending is aligning with our values. With the save, we're still automating our alligator fund. But let's also look a little bit more into that fund and savings goals. Let's keep those steady. Also, increase and focus on that emergency side so that you can meet that specific goal that you're in, whether it be the 1 month, 3 month, or 6 month rung of the ladder. In your payoff debt, minimums are still there. Extras, we are really focusing on and pushing towards that debt-free day. Why these sequences matter. Automation drives steady behavior. We see the same pattern in retirement plans. Think about it. When people are automatically enrolled, participation soars. About 94% with auto-enroll versus 64% with voluntary opt-in. That's a signal that automation can do things for consistency. Now, life does happen. You may need to reconfigure things. When you have a change in income, you need to maybe set a new baseline. If a bill jumps, make sure you're covering and planning for it during your check-in. Or if you have an upcoming seasonal change, things like holidays, sports, travel, make sure your alligator is on track. This isn't rebuilding your plan, it's just a simple tune-up. Let's give just a quick example of an automation scorecard because you want to always make your wins visible. Let's track just 3 little numbers. On-time rate. This is bills paid on or before the due date divided by the total number of bills. This should always be 100%. Your savings hit rate. Let's look at the number of paychecks where your emergency, alligator, and fund transfers ran exactly as planned, divided by the total number of paychecks. Your goal here should again be 100%, but 90% is respectable. Your debt velocity. Your total principal reduced across all debts is your key number here. When an extra payment is automated, that number should inch up month after month because you are paying down principal, paying less in interest, and digging out of that debt hole faster. Now, if one of these drops, you don't need guilt. You just need a quick fix. Adjust dates, nudge transfer amounts, and add that buffer to your bill pay account. In the movie The Martian, Mark Watley doesn't muscle his way off Mars. He works the problem in tight loops. Test, measure, adjust. That's your automation life. You don't need a perfect setup. You need a working one. Set the transfers, confirm the drafts, watch the scoreboard, adjust one dial at a time. That's how you get home financially and stay there. Let's bring it all together. If you've made it this far, you're not just thinking about automation, you're ready to lead it. Today, you learned how to set up systems that handle routine, keep you in control, and supercharge every side of the Triggator triangle. You're not just putting money on autopilot, you're building a rhythm that fits your life and your values. Here's the truth. Automation isn't about letting go. It's about leading with less friction. When you set up your power-up sequence, use bank transfers for bills, and keep your bill pay account as your command center, you're flying with intention, just like Apollo 13. When you power things up in the right order, you make it home safely, financially speaking. Your challenge today is to pick one area of your finances, whether it be bills, savings, or your debt payoff, and then automate it. If you haven't set up a bank transfer for a bill, do it now. If your emergency fund isn't on autopilot, schedule a transfer for payday. If you're paying down debt, set up an automatic extra payment. Take just 10 minutes today and make one automation move that will save you time, stress, and decision fatigue for months to come. Then add a reminder for a quick review next payday to confirm it's working. One step, one system, one win. If this episode helped you build an automation advantage, I want to hear about it. Email me at podcast@Triggator.com or message me on social media. Make sure that you follow @Triggator on Instagram, Facebook, and X. Make sure that you're subscribed to this podcast on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. We'd love it if you leave a review, especially if you found value today. It helps more people find the show and start leading their money with intention. Also, share with a friend. Send this to someone who is ready to put their money on autopilot and build peace of mind. The next episode, the Investing Integrity episode. Next time, we're tackling one of the most misunderstood topics in personal finance, investing. We'll show you how to evaluate opportunities for alignment with your plan, avoid the hype and get-rich-quick schemes, and focus on long-term paycheck-based investing that builds wealth the Triggator way. You'll learn how to grow your money while staying true to debt elimination and financial peace. No shortcuts, just practical, value-driven strategies. If you've ever wondered how to invest without losing your financial integrity, you won't want to miss this one. Your financial journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every automation you set up is a vote for your future self. So work the problem, trust your systems, and keep your hand on the controls. You're not just budgeting, you're building a life of clarity, confidence, and peace. Thanks for listening to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. See you next time.